Okay, so here's one of probably the wildest stories that I came across in the last part of 2020. I'm a big fan of Gary Vee, big fan of what he's doing for the crypto community, big fan of what he's doing in terms of like, you know, getting people on board into crypto, but also, getting people to create if they feel like creating, or businesses or entrepreneurs and things like that. But I heard and I came across his revenue, or sorry, his profit that he's made from selling NFTs in the last, kind of 3 months since his VeeFriends released. And I was just like, the dude made 90 million in 3 months, in 90 days. 90 million in 90 days. Let me break it down. 90 million in 90 days. How crazy is that? So I I, I really just kind of want to understand or talk about it for a moment because one, it's an incredible amount of money to to make in 90 days, but also, is it worth it, or is it kind of just propped up? Is it overhyped? Because NFTs right now are in a space where I don't really like what's going on with them. There's a lot of copycatting. There's a lot of, people trying to make a quick buck, and I'm not really for that type of vibe. It's not as fun as as what it's made out to be. A lot of people are going to lose a lot of money. Probably 90% of all NFT projects are going to fail. They're going to absolutely crash. People are going to lose all their money, and you're kind of just going to be left with the short end of the stick, which isn't a nice place to be. But there are that small percentage that is going to do really well. And I like Gary Vee's collection, like Gary Vee's NFT collection. One, because it provides this aspect of utility, real tangible, world value that a lot of other NFTs aren't giving you. They're just giving you a piece of art, or a painting or a drawing or whatever it is, in a similar fashion to everyone else's. But Gary V's are very interesting because there's a combination of different ones. I think all the normal tokens give you the ability to get into VCon. So every token that you own is one entry, and you in this conference I think it's called V Friends V something, is going to be this amazing concert conference that he's put on and created with the money that he's raising in his NFTs. So he's given back to his community. One, I love that about that. Two, the access tokens that are built into VeeFriends are amazing because they actually give you his most important thing in his life that everyone asks for. They give you his time. Now, that's not something that is, a lot of people want to give up so easily. So instead of, for me, for instance, just being like, yeah, sure, we can do this podcast together, what he's done is he's commoditized that. He's commoditized his time, and he's given the power to his community to put a value on it. And he's given them the opportunity to do things that, maybe weren't possible before, because he didn't want to do that type of thing because he didn't think it would add any value. So I know one of his VFriend NFTs is basically like, going for dinner with him, or one of them is like playing table tennis with him. Like, maybe he didn't realize that people wanted to do that with him, but obviously, when someone's paying upwards of like 50K for something like that, that's incredible. One of the most amazing ones I thought about was, I came across was his podcasting one. And the owner of the NFT, the owner of that digital token, basically has the right to cash in, so to speak, their chance to get Gary on a podcast. But there is only a certain number. I think it's like 5 or 3. But the beauty about all of this is all of these NFTs only last for 3 years. That's it. Bam. After 3 years, gone. They don't come back. And I like that. And I really like the fact that he's not strung it up until the end of time, but he's given them a time frame for them to exist in. And he's given his community, one, own a piece of Gary Vee, own some merch and stuff like that. But two, he's given them something that they can earn money on. There's a secondary market where he is earning, royalties, which are basically there's 90 million. But I just find it incredible, the physicality of it all, that he is giving people the option to work with him or work out with him or go to dinner with him or get on a Zoom. And then there's these infamous gift goats that are an NFT, which in the smart contract says that you will receive I think it's like 6 presents handpicked from Gary Vee a year if you are the one, if you are in ownership of the NFT. If you sell it on, obviously you will earn the profit, so to speak, from the sale if it goes up in value. But then the next person will receive those gifts. I thought it was a really interesting way of building utility, and one of the first, honestly, in my opinion, to actually do it properly and create something beautiful for a community that is, it's less about making a quick buck, more about creating an infrastructure for a community, creating a reason to be around, creating memorabilia for a community that he is able to do. Now, granted, not everyone can do this. Gary Vee has a following of, like, I don't know, I think it's like, well, you know what, let's check. Gary Vee has a following of, Gary Vaynerchuk has a following of almost 10 million people on just Instagram alone. That doesn't include TikTok, TikTok, Twitter, Facebook, and the duplicate. Well, some of them may be duplicates, but let's say upwards of 10 million, 15 million. This is an individual with a massive community of people that are willing and consuming his content, that he has an audience to sell to, which is one of the reasons why maybe VeeFriends did so well, because he has 15 million people behind him, 15 million people that want to purchase his stuff. If I was to start out, for instance, I wouldn't be able to sell an NFT for 50,000, something like that, because my time to my community isn't valued at $50,000 or sterling. Now, would I love it to get to a place like that? Yeah, absolutely. I'd love to be in a position where I can create something like this for my community. But not only does it make it interesting, I think it's the longer term aspect of it that changes things. Because they're only 3 years, what's going to happen after those 3 years? What is there going to be a whole new selection of NFTs with new drawings and stuff like that? I love it. Honestly, it's not a Bored Ape Yacht Club, right? It's not this, hyped piece of art, hyped piece of memorabilia in or pop culture that's going on right now. Steph Curry owns one, and KD or whoever else, Jay-Z. It is, you are buying into someone. You're providing, you are buying in as a consumer of someone's content. You're buying into them, and that's what I like about it. He's shown that you can really make a source of income off your NFTs, off this new, I don't even know what to call it, off this new domain, as an additional source of revenue, as a creator, as a entrepreneur, as an individual. But it also shows the power of the community and the people around you, and the people that you're trying to sell to. It's like, he's been doing this for 15 plus years. He's been in Web 2.0, start of Web 1, Web 2, Web 3. Like, he's been through it all. So kudos to Gary Vee, man. I mean, I would love to get to a position like that where I can put out an NFT run for my various businesses and the things that I'm doing, whether it's, this YouTube channel, or whether it's my entertainment business, or whether it's my podcast, and do amazing things like that, where I can give that to my community, give that to my fans, give that to all these people. I don't like the word fans. I find it a little bit odd, but I think the utility that is implemented in VeeFriends is by far one of the best in the NFT market, without a shadow of doubt. No holds barred. I think it's incredible, and kudos to Gary Vee. Well done, and yeah, I Godspeed. And I hope more people do stuff like this. More people provide really interesting value propositions for their consumers of their content, so that we can get into a place where we're getting access to things as normal human beings that we can learn, we can do amazing stuff with. Whether it's I don't know, I'd love to drink wine with Jay-Z if he had an NFT for that. Yeah, I would love to have dinner with Gary Vee. I'd love to take a singing lesson with Beyonce. I would play table tennis with Lewis Hamilton, some stuff like that. I think it's incredible, but it's up to those individuals. And I only look forward to where this NFT space, this utility backed tokens, or utility. I don't know if there's a word for it, but essentially what I'm trying to say is that I'm looking forward to really interesting value propositions put into the smart contracts of these NFTs and non-fungible tokens, so that as a consumer, I can give back so much more than what I give out. I can give back so much more than what I take in. And that, I think, is going to be the best thing in the world. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you soon.